What's up, guys? Your agent Tyler Wayrung here, and in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to set up something I think everyone needs to have and walk you through a very simple, very cost-effective, cheap way to get this done and at least check the box so you at least have something there. But guys, that thing that I think everyone does need to have at a bare minimum, if you are an adult and you have any assets or family, kids whatsoever, is a will. Look, I get it. I know nothing's ever going to happen to you. And one day you're going to do it when you have the time. You'll have time to set this up all correctly before anything bad happens. That's what we all think. We're all the unique unicorn that's going to do this someday down the road. We all think there's going to be plenty of time until the unthinkable happens. And guys, I'm going through a recent tragedy in my family, and fortunate enough for us, my grandfather set up everything very meticulously and made this process very easy on us all. And it made me think back to like what a giant mess this could be if you just left it up for everyone else to kind of figure out. Not to mention the family drama that you hear all too often about people fighting over what they believe is theirs because the freaking person never sat down and said exactly what they want to happen with their stuff, okay? So today, guys, I know this is a hard topic, and I know we're all super busy. No one has time to go find an attorney. Well, where would I even find one? When we're going to have time for me and my spouse to go meet together? You know, we're always so busy running kids around and such. I get it. I'm in the same boat, and I put this off for too long. But guys, today I'm going to share a website and a virtual tool with you guys that's very cost-effective and a way for you to do this very simply at your own time. If you know what you want to happen with your stuff, this could probably be done in 20 minutes or so. If you have a very simple estate, like most people do, where you just have a house, some savings account, some retirements, and you want all that to just go to one person, split up between your kids. If you have a very simple estate like that, you can knock this out very quickly. I promise it's super simple and you can do it all online through this company called Trust and Will. And guys, I have no affiliate with them. I actually tried to get one. They don't do affiliates, but I do have a link, like a referral link for 20% off. Use it or decide not to if you don't want to save a couple bucks. But guys, I personally have my trust set up with Trust and Will, and it was very easy to do because I hold real estate and I have a couple other more complicated things. I did go with a trust, and now when you do have a trust, you also have a will as well. But at a bare minimum, guys, go on here and set up a will if you do not have one. If you want to talk about, trust and other things like that and the benefits, pros and cons, let me know in the comments if you want a more in-depth video on that. But for most people, at a bare minimum, you just need to have a will. So, guys, trustandwill.com is a site that's solely dedicated for all 50 states. They have, your state's compliance, will documents, attorneys on staff to chat with if you want. But, guys, it's super simple. You go on here, you create an account. We'll look at a couple things here. Affordable estate plans, priceless peace of mind, yada, yada, yada. Let's go to what everyone wants to know. What does it cost and how do we get this set up? So guys, a will for an individual. So if you are just an individual, it's going to cost you $200. If you are a couple, it's going to cost you $300. $300 for peace of mind and to leave your family not having to untangle a giant ball of yarn if something was to happen to you. Trust me, it's money well spent and it's time well spent to quickly knock this out. So let's talk quickly about what you get for this. So we'll just focus on the will piece for now. If you guys want to know more about trust and stuff, we'll do that here. So what documents do you get? You get a last will and testament. That's the full name of will. You get a HIPAA authorization that just says like who can have access to your medical records. Advanced healthcare directive, which basically means, it's like your living will, but it also says like, I don't want to be hooked to machines, or I don't want to do this, or like who can, pull the plug, in nicer terms. And you get a specific power of attorney for somebody who can do, things for you. And in the case that you do become incapacitated, that's the word. So guys, all that stuff is there. And like I said, most people, it's very simple. They know either like, if I'm in this position, it's going to be my wife or it's going to be my husband who's going to do all these things. So these answers will be so obvious, and you'll say like, oh, I want everything to just be split between my 2 kids or my 3 kids, or everything goes to my son. Or like they'll ask you Q&A, like it's very simple form to fill out. Like you don't have to come prepared for anything. You log in here and it'll say like, what do you want to happen with this? And then you're like, oh, well, probably be good to sit down with your spouse so you guys, are aware of, what you put together. But here are some of the benefits. You can, nominate child guardians, pet guardians. If you are a big pet person, decide who will handle your affairs. So you name that executor of your estate. You leave specific gifts. You can do like little things like notes in here. You can exclude people from your will. Specify final arrangements. Yeah, you can say like where you want it buried, or if you want it cremated. Any healthcare wishes. Where do you want to donate your organs? Things like that. It's a little morbid to kind of go through this, but guys, you got to do it. Okay. Add conditions and distributions. This thing, also you can set this up and it automatically does include you in like a yearly, $19 a year to go in and make updates on a yearly basis, or you can pause your account. Like you don't have to do this. I go in here, set this up, and then I pause it. And like every couple of years, I'll go back and I update mine for like $40 just to stay compliant. But that is one thing you want to make sure you pause once you're done with this, so it doesn't just keep charging you unless you want to, update it yearly. The other really cool thing is, and for me specifically, this was like a decision factor for me, because like I said, mine's a little more complex with rentals and businesses and stuff like that. But they have attorney support for $200 or another $300. Okay, so if you're unsure about a particular thing, for $300, you get I think it's like a 1-hour call. It doesn't say how long it is, but like a super knowledgeable attorney reached out to me and walked through tons of questions. Now, like if you want this specific attorney to draw up additional documents, he does charge, or he or she may charge for that, or they will charge you extra for that. But if you just want counsel of like, hey, here's what I have and I want this to happen, like how do I word that? Or I'm really not sure about how do I go about doing X, Y, or Z. They'll at least point you in the right direction there. So guys, I highly recommend you do this. Another cool thing, I'm going to jump into my account here and show you like some other little pretty cool things that you can actually do here. So all right, guys, so now we're in my account, so you can see some of the things in here that they kind of give you pointers on, that just to make sure you're not like missing anything. So it's like add a legacy contact. So what's a legacy contact? Someone you designate to have read-only access to your trust and will account. So like, if you know that someone's going to, be your executor, or you want them to handle everything or be in the loop, you can add them there. You can share this document like a read-only access to your account. But some of the other things that I thought was pretty cool. So you have this sharing tab where you can go in here and put specific documents that you want to share. You can do, give someone read-only access to that. You can notify people when things happen. They also have this digital safe where you can update things like IDs, bank statements, insurance policies. So, you have a life insurance policy and, you can upload that policy letter with the account number, put it in here so you don't have to like remember to tell your kids, hey, go look in the safe and this thing. It's online. It's out stored in the cloud somewhere. So if your house burns down or like something happens, it's all in here. You can upload any files in here. You can write letters of like, here's instructions here. I really miss you guys, or I loved you and I forgot to tell you, whatever you want to put in here, you can do that. It's super cool. But guys, also one other thing, a highly recommended piece of advice. If you do have a simple estate, like most people who just have their primary residence and they want to hand that down, or have their kids actually, or whoever their heirs are, to have access to that property without going through probate, is something called a transfer on death deed, a TOD, transfer on death deed. Some states may call it a transfer on death affidavit, transfer on death, insert word here. If you Google your state, say, Ohio, transfer on death property or real estate, you'll likely figure out what that specific document is. But guys, exactly what that does is before you die, like while you're still living, you can file something with your county recorder's office called a transfer on death deed in Ohio. And what that says is, it says like, I own this property now, but upon my death, I want this property to automatically transition to this person. And as soon as you die, that is filed in the county recorder's office, and that, obviously you have to take like a death certificate to show like, hey, this person died, and now they will automatically invoke that transfer to move that right into your name. So you can completely avoid going through the probate process, which is 1, costly, it's 2, time consuming, and 3, just a giant pain in the butt for whoever is your executor. Trust me, you don't want to deal with that. Being in the real estate industry, I deal with this all too often for people who are just clueless and are frustrated with the whole probate process. So this is a document that you can file for probably under $100. I think in Ohio it's like $50 or something. And if you don't know like where to start with this, like county recorder, who does this? most title agencies, who deal with transferring real estate will have this on file. They'll have an attorney on staff that can spin these up for you. It's a very simple document. It's like a boilerplate document that you put, I own, your name, this address, and then who's the property going to go to upon your death. You sign it in front of a notary and you file it in the county records. If you don't know how to find one of these, just reach out to any real estate agent that you own. They don't even have to be a good one. And just say, hey, do you have a contact for someone in a title office that I can talk to about a transfer on death deed? And I'm sure they will be able to point you in the right direction. But guys, that is a simple way to transition your property automatically to your heirs without paying any taxes, without paying probate fees, and dealing with that whole giant mess. So in summary, if you do not have a will, there's really no excuse for you not to at least spin up for $300, a very simple will on trustandwill.com. Or if you want to go find your own, go find your own. Like I said, I get nothing from this video other than just knowing that it might help someone out there like it helped me when someone shared this information with me. I will put a 20% off link in the description, so check that out if you do want to get this filed. It won't be the funnest thing you've ever done, but guys, if you're an adult, be responsible. Get something set up. You can always make it better in the future. Anytime you create a new document, it supersedes a previous version. So don't get overwhelmed with like, oh, I don't know, I might buy something. Something might change down the line. Because you can update these once a year for like $30, whatever that's set in here. You can always create a brand new document. You can start with a will and go to a trust. Go to a trust and, end it, go back to a will. You can change this all the time, but you got to have at least something in place. There's no excuse for you to leave a mess for anyone behind when something's this cheap and this easy to do. So get out there and create your freaking will today. Get it done. Put it on your calendar. You and your spouse make it happen. But guys, I hope you got some value out of this video. If I skimmed over anything that you would like me to jump back into, drop those in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you being a subscriber and watcher of the channel. But with that, we'll catch you next time.